Kindly sit down. Thank you. Sir Rapi, nice to see you. The Executive Secretary, Salvador Midaldia, and the members of the Cabinet, Excellencies of the Diplomatic Corps, Chairperson Alicia de la Rosa Bala, Civil Service Commission, the Vice Chairman George Cabanungan, the Civil Service Commission, Commissioner Robert Martinez, Civil Service Commission, awardees of the 2016 Search for the Outstanding Government Workers, my beloved countrymen. Please accept my congratulations and your extra walking another mile to do something for your fellow men. Meron akong speech dito. It's a good one, but I want to communicate with you tonight on a different level. As a worker in government, of government or in whatever, I'd like to repeat my talk with the private sector. May awarding rin kami ngayon, same. Those people who excel in their lives, to walk the extra mile for their fellow men. Alam mo, sa dormitoryo namin noon, there was this anonymous sabi doon, expect to pass through this world but once. Any good, therefore, that I can do, or any kindness that I can show to my fellow creatures, let me do it now. Let me not defer or neglect it, for I shall not pass this way again. So, yun ang pinaka ang pagtingin ko sa inyo. That is how I would characterize your virtues in life. It's really a virtue, sacrificing extra time to think of your fellow men, aside from your regular hours. Those are the said virtue that is not present in everybody's soul, spirit. Ang akin kasi dito, itong problema natin ngayon, ito, pang ano lang ito, bla 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 bla. Tapos, gusto kong prangka-prangkahan na lang tayo. I'd like to talk to you as a government worker. Do not consider me anybody superior to you. Pero pareho lang tayo, binabayaran ng tao. So I talk to you just what a government worker would do to confront the truth. Ito bang problema natin ng bayan? The biggest threat, I would say, in the coming years, it would be terrorism. It's sure to come. By the time the ISIS loses the land base in the Middle East, they would just go everywhere and everywhere. And alam mo, they have this profound statement that they want to establish a caliphate in Indonesia, Brunei, Malaysia, and the Philippines. Yung may mga maraming Muslim. Wala tayong problema dito sa atin. I'm sure that with Noor, he's out of the country, is collecting kanong ano doon, mga suggestions at the mga datos, ika nga, which he would present to us. But he has agreed to talk. Ang MI naman, we're ready for January. And sabi ko sa kanila, I hope you can finish it at 2017. Or at least kung magkaisa tayo, then we have to concentrate on the economic side of our governance. Ang problema lang sa atin is yung, sabi ko, yung maute pati yung Abu Sayyaf. they do not have that kind of patriotism na yung tinuturo natin sa eskwelahan. Pero frankly, I would tell you that what started in Mindanao was not really an ISIS or a Babusaya thing. It was an awakening of their historical heritage. And you know, before Magellan landed, about 100 years earlier, in Sulu, Mindanao, Islam na. I mean, there were already, walang ibang tao doon except the Lumads, yung nasa bukid talaga, na hindi naman bumababa noon. At yung mga hindi inabot ng mga conquistadores. But when they really tried to subdue Mindanao, nothing happened. Because hindi nila pa mapasok yung loob ng Mindanao. May poste kasi. And the post was itong Islam. So, but okay tayo in the days to come, for as long as they want to talk to us, it's fine. Rather than really fight even a day. Ang dito naman sa mga Communist Party of the Philippines, I'd like to thank them for even agreeing to talk. So by agreeing to talk, we can have the ceasefire, and I hope it would continue until it is really finished to everybody's satisfaction. Na sana, huwag na muna, sinabi ko sa lahat, na everybody listening sa buong Pilipinas, we are covered live, and I would ask the, yung dandahanan lang muna natin. What really gave rise to this movement in Mindanao was a Muslim, religion, Moro nationalism. Lupa nila. So they were really pushed to the wall and reduced, marginalized lahat ang. But they were in Mindanao first. So that is why ang pinaka-demand nila ngayon is ang federalism. Yun ang pinaka-beres na. Kasi they tried something else. They want to change it to a state. You cannot do that. We will all die fighting, and we would never have peace in this land. Ngayon, pumayag lang sila ng federalism. I just hope that it would pass. Next year, I will appoint the commission members to do the talking and studying and talking to them para isa lang kung anong whatever Ms. Wari brings out here after his trip abroad, fine, and let us talk. Kasi ako, I'm warning you, this is no joke, and I'm not, walang politika dito, I'm not up to anything. If we cannot agree on a federal type of government, there will be no peace in the land. And we will just have to pass on this violence. And with the entry of itong ISIS, all the more it becomes to be a virulent thing in the Republic of the Philippines. Kailang ko sa inyo. Now, sabihin nila na gusto ko federal. Wala ako. Kung gusto ninyo, okay. Pag ayaw ninyo, okay. Pero if you're talking of, ambisyoso na, I am there to create another situation whereby I can prolong my stay in power. Sabi ko sa inyo, at I will tell you now, and I will give you my word. Sinabi ko sa kanila lahat, if you can craft the federal structure next year and submit it to the Filipino people for the plebiscite, I will step down before my term para ma-implement yan, because you will have, sabi ko, my suggestion is, get the type of the parliament system sa France, but you have a strong president. Hindi pa tayo pwede kasi there are so many islands there. Kailangan isa lang talaga ang salita. So, You maybe have a strong president with few powers but powerful ones to dissolve parliament, to call for new elections, and parang ceremonial lang halos eh. And he must be the commander-in-chief of all the armed forces. Armed forces include the police kasi armed yan eh, pati kapgo. It's just limited to the military na Air Force, Navy, to armed. So if you are an armed for government, you are into it. So if you can have it in 3 years' time, ako 6 years pa ako. Pero pag nandyan na yan, I will step down and I give you my commitment. Wala akong nilus doon sa ano. Kasi ako pag tinanong mo, do not be offended for those, lalo na yung nagboto sa akin. Yung nagboto sa akin, tumawa na lang kayo. And I would understand. If you would ask me now, even sa cabinet, are you exceedingly happy? Or a little bit backward 2 steps, are you happy? I will answer you. For those, the wandering guys, I do not need the job at this point in time in my life. Pareho sa akin, halos ako matagal sa gobyerno. Became mayor for 23 years. I became a congressman, tapos a vice mayor to my daughter, and now I'm president. I have never lost an election in Davao. Pero kung sabihin ninyo na gutom ako, so my answer is, I will step down. You have my word. Basta nandiyan na yung federal system. Para wala kayo kasi maraming, hindi lulusot yan, sabihin na, kasi is trying to maneuver, gusto lang nila to stay in power. That's bullshit. I don't need the job. I really do not need it. I will not hang on to it. Yung kudita. So, I became president. When the votes were counted, I was really almost appalled. Bakit? Had I won siguro mga 200, 300, mayroon pa mga kaso-kaso yan. Pero kung ganon, so wala akong pera, wala akong makinarya. But I had a solid backing from the groups, like the left. Ang left talaga, siya magdi-demonstrate dyan sa labas na, no offense intended. Yung mga yellow mo lang yan. They want me out because maybe they cannot accept defeat. Pero yung ibang, tignan mo dyan sa demonstration, mga komunista, hindi yan papayag. Hindi lang papayag yan. Kasi komunista rin ako eh. I'm just, at best you can describe me as a socialist. I am not a member of the Communist Party of the Philippines, but I am, kaya yun ang horizon. Ngayon, kaya nga ako, ma'am, I released 1 billion para lang doon sa mga addicts who cannot be provided with rehabilitation facility because kulang. Now, remember, they would say that President Duterte, why does he kill the drug lords? Why did he just place them in a rehab center? You know, I came to this position midterm. The battle cry nila noon, nung nakatira dito, was bottoms up. Talagang bottoms up. So when I came in, yung lahat ng reklamo, on hold. Walang pera sa mga magnakaw. Kunin ko yung sa agriculture, ilagay ko sa DSWD. Tapos yung sa DND kay Gina. Magyaw-yaw hanggang umaga. So, dapat robbing Peter to pay Paul. Hindi mo pwede yan. So, wala talaga akong magawa. And I was, at the butt of all the crucifixions. Kung ano-ano lang sabihin. Sabi ko, hindi kasi nila naintindihan. Pero I do not want to please my enemies with justification. I don't care if they listen to me or not. Even if I'm telling the truth, ayaw mo marinig. That's always the case because people judge best when they condemn. They do not really hear you out. So yan ang problema ko. But next year, but it was kind of thing na doon sa front. Isang tao lang, kindred soul, Chinese, came here. And he said, I know that you are hard up. Would you allow me to build a facility, a rehab? Wala man akong lupa. Sabi ko, saan natin ilagay ito? And he was asking for a certain hectareage. Sabi ko, sa mga military, open up your camp. Allow the rehabilitation, mga health DSW to enter and para gawaan ng mga rehab. So this guy went to Fort Magsaysay. You know what? He built a structure that can hold 10,000 drug addicts. Natapos siya, 2 buwan lang, all fabricated. Mag-import siya, no? Walang taxes, walang pre-free taxes, binayaran niya lahat. Itinayo niya, parang prefab talaga. In 2.5 months, meron tayong rehab. Tapos bumalik siya dito, shook my hand, he left. Wala na. I have not heard from him. Yung mga ganon, and like you, but on a different level of vocation, we're trying our best to really do something for the country. Unlike me, a worker, ang problema ko is inabutan ko yung mga drug yan sa panahon ko. Kaya ako passionate na almost obsessed. Kasi 3 million ang sabi ni Santiago. That was the PDEA of about 3 years ago. The incremental increase, really, I would not know how much. Ilan ang nadagdag doon sa 3 years na yun? Because there was really no, iba tayo yung mga police, they were into corruption. Itong, I said that 7 generals, I had to fire them because they were tainted with drugs. And so yung bago ako umupo, count the killings before I assumed the office. And you would notice that almost every day there were killings 5, 6, 7. What does that indicate to you? Then when I assumed the office, hindi agad kami nag-operate. I had to take stock of everything. And it was only after 1 month and a half na sinabi ko mag-operate kayo. And there were killings. And I suppose that I could safely say that 1/3 of those who died fighting the police. Hindi lang kasi nila alam. I've been mayor for 23 years. Magtanong kayo ng taga Davao. I go out of the night alone. Maghanap talaga ako ng tao na gusto kong patayin. Gusto ko mahanap yung nananaksak. Kasi ilan na yung estudyante saksakin patay. Naghanap talaga akong mabaril. Tanong, pag ako ang hinudap mo, tapos ka. Ganon talaga. Kasi, so ang Davao medyo peaceful. And was able to control drugs. And Davao even prospered. You know, the country is hitting 7-something growth rate, economic growth. Davao is 9. Look, go to Davao. Ang lalo na kung dito ka sa Shrine, there's a bukid there in the middle of the city. Parang you look at this right side and left side. Endless ang number 1 ang housing sa Davao. So we are hitting the 2 point something mark sa population. Kaya, kasi stricto ako. Now, for those really, uso yung kidnapping noon eh. At ginagamit pa doon sa crawler. Doon ako sa CNN, naggiga ako sa kama, napatayo ako. Duterte admits killing suspect. So ano itong, wala man akong nalaman na pinatay ngayong recently. And you know, hindi ako sabihin nagpapatapang ako. 3 months into the mayorship, may kinidnap na style noon sa Davao, damputin ka kung saan nga, tapos ikarga ka, baliwala. Tapos hanggang na mayor ako, gano'n, 3 months. Baski sino lang may kotse ka na, kikidnapin ka. Tapos ikot-ikot ka lang sa Davao, tawagan mo ang maghingi ng pera. Release ka. At pagkatapos, after 2 or 3 hours. Itong babae na ito, kinidnap nila, dinala nila sa Cotabato. Ang mali nila, sabi nila, ibalik nila ang babae doon sa Davao, sa bahay pa. So dito kami, ako pati, 2 pulis, pati si Colonel Stares, General. Kasi dumaan na sila doon. Sabi namin, any military man o policeman, huwag mong ibalik ang dinaanan mo. Diretso-diretso ka na. So ang mga unggoy, dinala yung babae, tapos nagpaluto pa doon, kumain pa. Hindi na lang nilason ang mga... Kaya, nung paglabas nila, nandiyan na ako. Kasi may mga hinatid pa nung yung isang tiyuhin, ang babae, hawak-hawak pa nila. So, hinaan namin. After a few steps, binaba nila. Hindi nila alam na nandyan ako. Tapos may nasa loob, bumunot ng karbin. Ayun, bakbakan kami. Sabi ko, I do not know if I hit really. 3 kami ang nagbabaril. So, hindi ko malaman kung ilang bala pumasok doon lang sa makina o sa tao. Pero it was really a legitimate encounter. At covered ng media yun. The media of Davao were all aware that there was this happening, evolving event rather. Yun naman na alaala ko. Many others, kidnapping rin yung situation. Pero hindi ako sabihin muna nag-participate. Pupunta ako as mayor, tinitignan ko yung... Sinabi ko sa taga Davao ganito, do not disturb or destroy the peace of my city. Do not destroy the youth of my land. If you do that, I will kill you. Talagang papatayin kita. Kung hindi ako mapatayin, nagpaiko yung kamay nakatali. No? Walang hiya mo naman. I mean, baski sundalo, police, they do not do that. I'll tell you what, itong ating mga Filipino na officer, commission, itong mga PMAs, hindi mo mautusan niya illegal. Hindi yan susunod sa inyo. Sabihan, we only follow legal orders, sir. Ano mo sabihin, salbid-salbid, gano'n? Nawala ka na. Sila-sila lang yan. Utsuhan, hindi nagbayaran, gano'n. About 1/3 of that really happened. Talagang legitimate. Do you know why? Because the first, may doktor man talaga dito, the first thing that they are, or they are prone to do is to get violent. And what? Because they are afflicted now with paranoia. Kaya ay armas talaga yan. Baski knife, basta may armas. They would never go naked. Naked means armed. Kaya lumalaban talaga yan. Maniwala kayo sa akin. Yung salbid-salbid, sila nagpatayan yan. Or gantihan. Baski ako naman. Ako magprangka ako. May sabi kasi nila with impunity, ako rin nagsasabi. Pero ako, personal, kung rapin mo ang anak ko, o ilulong mo sa droga ang apo ko, papatayin kita. Papatayin talaga kita. By what right in this universe na ito? But what right do you have to do that to my granddaughter or my children? Anong kasalanan ng tatay pati nanay sa inyo? Bakit ninyo gawain yan? Bakit niya pakainin ng droga? Ang social cost niyan, it will result in the breakdown of the family. Sigurado yan, pag magnanako yan. There was, doon sa Davao, kumpare ko, mayaman kasi sa Insular Hotel. He called me because the younger brother was raping the elder sister. We were able to get hold of the 45, hindi sila makalapit. Sabi sa kanya, if I call the policeman, baka mapati ang anak kong babae matay. Sabi ko, tiisin mo na lang. But I could hear the wife inside the car, full blast music, pero nilagay sa doon ng asawa niya kasi sumisigaw eh. Nag-iskandalo na, tulong. Sabi ko, hayaan mo lang. Tama nga. Alas 10, wala, tulog ng buang. Ewan ko, nandoon sa Amerika, pagdagdag ng gulo nila, buti nga. Amerika. Human rights. Sino bang gustong pumatay ng tao? Pilipino? Pero yan, 4 million. Hindi ko nga malaman kung magkano ang gastusin ko. I just released 1 billion to them. Kasi kailangan na sila ng sedative, tranquilizers, when the monkey starts to play in their back, gumagano na yan. So they had to have a fix. Now, how much are we spending for this industry? How much are we spending? At noon, ang presyo, mura pa, 200. That is one day, 200 yan. Yung trabahante. 1 month, magkano yan? 6,000? Tapos, times 3. Yung muna kay Santiago muna, 3. Huwag mo na yung akin, di pa ako tapos sa taon na to. Times 3, that's 8 billion a month. In 1 year, that's 216 billion industry. Ganon kalala. Bigay mo na. Itong nagdala nito, adik ito puro sa pag-ibig. This is the drug industry of the Philippines. I cannot produce proof beyond reasonable doubt. Hanggang probable cause lang ako. Kung nandito si Luot, General Luot, amount declare niya sa kanyang 100 million. Kasi matyaga daw siya magpabili ng bahay. Hindi, dabang kanya. Dati itong mga pulis, mga buang. Ito yan. Elected public officials per region. Region 1. Puro barangay captain. Barangay captain lahat yan. Barangay captain, municipal mayors, a few governors, and congressmen. Anak, we did not know or I did not realize na noon pa pala we were already in narco-politic state. Kasi nandyan ang barangay captain, but siguro mga 2,000 of them, barangay captains, municipal mayors, may congressman pa. Gaya nako, sabi ko, ang sakit yan, this is my kalbaryo. because I was elected president maybe on at a wrong time. So, hindi, imanan ko yan. So, I pretended to be with the capability and everything, tapos iwanan ko yung problema na yan. So, it will not stop until the last pusher is out of the streets and the last drug lord killed. Maniwala ka sa akin. Papatayin ko talaga yung mga ginawa nila sa bayan ko. Itong si Udikta, yung mag-asawa na pinatay doon sa Piero, he was holding the western side of the Philippines sa droga. Easily, mga 1 million, 2 million yung nasida ilan ng buhay. Tapos yung pulis na demanda dahil, well, nung pumutong sabi, he was si Espinosa ng Albuera, pinatay doon ng pulis. Sabi ko, well, okay, that is the theory, but I will believe the police because the police is under me. Sabi ko, huwag ninyo akong pilitin. Kung makita ninyo, in contrast, the Justice Department came up with a ruling that says it was a rub-out. Eh kung nakikialam ako, di sabihin ko lang, sundan lang yung istorya ng police. Well, let it stand. Let it file the case. But I have to protect them. Kailangan ko, bigyan ko na abogado, bigyan ko assistance, kasi ang police, the day that they are suspended, wala nang makain yan. You know how much the sweldo ng police? 14,000. In Manila, if you're a policeman, how will you survive? With 3 children, 4 children. O ito mga durugista ngayon, nagtatrabaho lang din sa pier, mga kargador, mga driver ng ano. Wala nang madala kasi nandoon, walang pagkain ang pamilya. So it is really a dysfunctional family. Kaya ako talaga am raging mad, galit ako. Kasi sisirain mo ang pamilya. Walang makain, makaripag-aral kasi sira. You destroy everything and you destroy them forever. Eh tayo mga pobre, wala namang mayaman dito sa atin. Puro tayo, gobyerno lang eh. Ilan lang sweldo ko? 130. Dalawang pamilya ko, alang-alang hindi ko bigyan. Alam naman ninyo. Eh, annulled ako, but I continue to support my wife. She's sick. So pero annulled na kami. May isa akong sabi ko, isa lang ang anak ko sa iyo kasi hindi ko na talaga kaya. Even with a salary of 130, dalawa sila, wala na nga maiwan sa akin. Tapos papakurus-kurus lang ako dyan sa ng River Pasig na. Totoo. Sabi ko, if you think that I'm happy, I do not need the job. Makahanap buhay pa ako siguro ng iba, ng negosyo. Kaya nga ako galit. Ano bang ginagawa mo sa bayan ko? I said, I never declared a police operation. I declared war against the drug front because I was up to a sindikato. Kaya kung hindi lang yung security ko, matagal na akong patay. Totoo lang. Kaya big time na eh. There's a plot na to assassinate me. Raise the door. Pareho kayo ba ito yung sabi? 50-50 mo. Eh di patayin mo eh. I mean, tapos na ako. Sabi ko nga, bakit nanalo ako? With only, wala akong barangay captain isa dito sa Maynila. Not even a mayor. Wala akong mayor. Sa Davao, ako man yung mayor, di ako lang. And yet, sabi ko, this year number of 6 million. There has to be a very deep and hindi ako kilala eh. Ang governor ko lang nga, 2. Si Aimee, pati sa Ilocos, pati dyan sa basta dyan sa Mindanao. Because she was, once upon a time, the love of my life. Alam mo huwag ka mag-chismis dyan, sir. She's also a governor. Pero wala na, tagal na. But for love's sake, laki ng panalo ko sa probinsya niya. 100,000. Pati sa mga Moro. I won in almost places Moro. Pati sa overseas worker, I got 78 of the total. Doon ako bumawi. But still very... Kaya yan, yung droga na yan has to stop. Because I am not trying to be corny. Pag hindi ko natapos ito, at itong gira ngayon sa terrorism, pag hindi ko natapos yan sa panahon ko, looking at the landscape, political landscape, wala makakatapos nito. Ay, kung ako na order, I said, go and destroy the apparatus. I never said, go and destroy the drug industry. It's an industry, 218 billion. Ay, sabihin nga ng we will withhold your assistance and aid. Every time that they do that, yung Millennium Challenge, it's about 400. Ay, nag-industry tayo na 16 billion. Ang billion na 400 lang. So every time they talk about human rights, they always connect it to the statement that, ayun, kansilado kayo. Kaya ako galit. You know, you are trivializing the 4 million problem of this country. Sasabihin mo dyan may pinatay na Kaya ko nga sabihin even if it is true, your hearts bled for this son of a bitch destroying my country. You are not only in the business of Shabu. You are destroying my country. And I have declared war against them. Kaya pasensya na lang talaga tayo. They say that they would impeach me. Go ahead. Ang problema. You want to assassinate me? Go ahead. Pero let it be natanggal ako dito sa Malacanang ito na kasi sa graft and corruption. Maybe because I was ousted because I was desperate in helping my country because I love my country. Yan dyan. Huwag mo kung doon natin. So that is how it is. Kaya yung mga aid, we will get it somewhere. Saka hindi na ako tatanggap kasi sabi nila it was just put off. Tell America na yung sponsor ng you can have your millennium 400 million. China promised me 50 billion. They even $6 billion available next year. Tapos lahat-lahat na 50 billion. Pati yung trabaho sabi ko, hindi man bigyan si Tugadi ng Congress ng pera. Wala talagang solusyon, sabi ko. There can be no solution sa EDSA if you do not come in. They have agreed. So at least more than mga 50 billion papasok sila. So I thank China. Sa Amerika wala naman akong away, except that it's a land of hypocrisy. There are about 40,000 Americans killed every year, drug-connected. They supplied arms to those who fought in the cartel. Yung si Oliver North, remember that North that he was sentenced to prison? Yun. Siya yung nagpagador. Siya yung nagbigay ng armas doon sa mga Meksikano. Yung oil. Tayo may arbitral. Gusto nila i-push talaga na Bakit ba ako maghanap ng away? If I send the Marines there, they'll be wiped out in just 1 minute. There'll be a disaster. We have no might. So at this time, sabi ko, there will be a day, sinabi ko kay Xi Jinping, that we will have to take this up. But not now because I'm here as a visitor. And yung sabi ko, I cannot talk about it. Kasi labas na tayo, bisita lang ako dito sa inyo. But I will bring this up. And alam na ang ambassador dito, yung Chinese na. I will bring this up someday, but it will be during my time. That I have this arbitral award, so I have to push it. Kung gusto ninyo, well, let's just develop what's the oil there. Hati-hati na lang tayo. Anuhin ko mo yung dagat kung walang, what will I do with this Scarborough Shoal? Swim there every day? For what? To send my soldiers there to die? To nakalutang lahat? Mario Joseph. I'll have just to start with the domestic problem. Pati ngayon, yung iba, kasi mahal na ang druga, wala na, balik na naman sila. You know these guys? They kidnap people, mostly Chinese. They collect the ransom, then they killed the hostage. Ganon ang uso dito. Sabi ko, yan ang gusto ninyo. Sabi ko talaga, what you can do, I can 10 times over. More evil than you. Do not ever, ever believe that you are the only evil-minded in this planet. Marami tayo. Kaya lang, hinto na ko kay... And just a warning. Kasi ganun ang ano. I have tried to save. Maganda ng economy. It's hitting 7. So, huwag na natin sirain and let's just work. No, itong sa drug. Ganito yan eh. May I suggest a way of action? Gusto ninyong hintuin ang patayan o hinto kayo sa drugs? Wala nang patayan. Total, naghinakit lang naman dito yung mga punerarya. Wala tayong pakialam sa kanila. Hintuin lang ninyo yung droga. Kayong nagluluto ng droga. Puta na pag hinto kayo, mag-inabot ng pulis, magbarila naman kayo. Eh, yung pulis preparadong magipagbarila niya. Sila yung nag-a-attack eh. Hintuin lang ninyo yung droga. Good na tayo. Gusto ninyong mamatay, pumasok kayo sa droga. Yan lang. So, I end this up by, maybe also sorry for the raw language, but as I've said, I'm just a worker in government trying to communicate with you kung ano yung basta na ganon, auster. Go ahead. I'm telling you again, if you think that I'm happy, I will answer you. I do not need it at this time of my life. Maraming salamat po.